Hey, welcome everyone to a new episode of the Rock Fantasy Files, and we have a special guest, an old friend of mine, Dan Lorenzo, currently in a project in a band called Vessel of Light, which we've sold a few copies of in the store. Dan, welcome to the show. Fill us in about
Thanks.
Vessel of Light and what's going on now in 2020 with you.
Well, thanks for having me. Right now, Vessel of Light is. I finished all my guitar parts for their fourth album. Jimmy Shulman finished his bass parts, and Ron Lipnicki finished his drum parts. So, our singer Nathan Opposition, who's also in a great band called The Ancient Wisdom,
Yes.
he lives out in Cleveland. You know about them? He lives out.
I saw them open up for somebody once.
For Ghost. You saw them open up. They were the first band to ever tour with Ghost.
With Ghost, I did see them. Yes.
Yeah. So Nathan, now he and I started jamming together about 3 years ago. And believe it or not, we're already working on our fourth album. And this one's going to be called Last Ride. And we released the first two, this first self-titled EP 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Then Woodshed came out 2 years ago. Thy Serpent Rise came out independently a year ago. And now Last Ride will be coming out on a California label called Nomad Eel. So
Awesome.
Nathan's done with 3 songs right now. He'll finish about 7 or 8 more. And then, we'll put out the digital right away, the CDs right away, and the vinyl will come out a little bit after the fact.
Yeah, it'd be great to have the vinyl. I was actually listening to your latest album this morning on one of my, because we can't go to the gym anymore. I go out into, they put in some reservoir trails in the area. So I take our new dog we got and I go off and I'll try to listen, let me refresh my memory with this album a little bit. It sounded really good to me.
Thank you.
Definitely got that classic sound. I'd say a lot of Doom and like maybe some Sabbath. Maybe I can hear a little bit of like the Southern, like and Down type influences with it a little bit too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I was influenced by them, but I was definitely influenced by Sabbath, and I think obviously
as they were, yeah,
exactly. So yeah, I mean, I would hate to think that I'm, being influenced by a sort of current band, but you remember my band Nonfiction. Nonfiction had a song called Down, and Phil Anselmo loved us.
Okay.
Maybe they're not, we all love Sabbath, so that's what
of course. So, just reminded me of that vibe, that type of vibe in the music. And so and you guys probably, of course, one of my questions for everybody was, how were you affected by the pandemic, which is getting to be almost an old question at the moment. Everybody's been affected horribly. It's the worst thing ever, Yeah.
Well, the only good thing that came out of it for Vessel of Light was the fact that we were planning on releasing our fourth record maybe in March or, April of next year. But this gave us so much more time. I had already started working on it. And what's unusual, for the last 3 records I've done, Steve, I record all the guitar parts first, and then everybody comes in afterwards. So I had literally recorded 17 brand new songs. And all right, so I recorded 12 brand new songs before the pandemic, before everything got shut down. And then I wrote 5 more. And some of the 5 are going to be the best songs on the record. In fact, the title track, Last Ride, was the very last thing I wrote. So that's the one good thing that came out of the pandemic, is instead of running around and playing basketball, I was stuck in my house playing more guitar and writing more songs for Vessel of Light.
So you're a basketball player. I didn't know that.
Yeah, just literally got off the court about an hour ago. Got out of the shower. I just made it to you on time. I got out of the shower and that's why my hair looks crazy. Yeah, I've been playing basketball for like the last 20 years.
Okay, cool. And you're not down in Orlando in the bubble right now?
No, I'm not in the NBA. I mean, I probably.
But, hey, we all got to stay in shape somehow right now. We can't go to the gym. And if you don't have any equipment at home, you got to go out and walk. It's just a crazy time. But, let's go into the past with Dan and with you. And I mean, there could be some people watching this for the first time, just finding out who Dan Lorenzo is. You've been in the metal scene since the early '80s, correct? How did you start out, and what got you going into the metal scene? What was your first experience, maybe as even a kid? Like, what got you wanting to play metal and being in the scene? What were you first exposed to in music to get you into this?
I started playing guitar in 1978 because of Kiss. And there's actually a documentary this guy Jason Stewart made about me. That's amazing, Steve.
Yeah,
It's
you
called
sent
Dan.
me the link. I didn't get to
Oh,
look
okay.
at it yet. Yeah.
Yeah, Dan Lorenzo, all about the riff, and talks about my whole musical career. So I opened up for Twisted Sister in 1982 at the Soap Factory when Hades had the original singer Paul Smith, and we were primarily a cover band at that point. And then we started doing originals, and funnily enough, I opened up for Twisted Sister in Germany in 2010. So I went from 1982 to 2010
Wow.
without having played with them. But yeah, so, and I was playing the clubs literally since like 1980, honestly. I started playing the clubs in New Jersey when the drinking age was under 21.
Yeah, when I was
So-
back in 18. Yeah, back
Yeah.
in 18 then, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was still in high school, and I'd go out on a Sunday night and, get home late. I don't know how my parents, I don't know why I get away with it. I think my father was ill at the time, so they had other things to watch over.
Yeah.
But, so I loved like old Kiss, old Aerosmith, and then I got into Slayer, and I got into Exodus, and then Hades got progressively heavier. We had a whole new lineup, which included Jimmy Shulman, who's my current bass player with Vessel of Light. And Hades did some shows in America. We toured Europe in '89. We broke up, and then I started Nonfiction. And I think that's when I met you, actually, when I had just started Nonfiction.
Most likely, yes. Yes.
Yeah, around 1991 or so.
I'm sure I saw you in Hades somewhere back in the day,
Yeah.
but didn't know.
Well,
you
Hades
personally.
actually got back together in 1999, and we did 3 records for Metal Blade. So we did some reunion shows in Germany. We played Bakken, and we played the Bang Your Head Festival in Germany. But Nonfiction was like my baby. It was like from 1990 to 94. It was the only period of time where I didn't work for a living. We were so big on WSOU, and I was only making $175 a week, but that was enough to pay my rent.
Sure.
So I did Nonfiction, and then I fell in love with my wife. I didn't play guitar for about 2 years. Hades got back together. Hades broke up again in 2002. We not really broke up. We kind of just stopped playing. And then I did some solo records, and then I did a record in 2007 with Bobby Blitz called The Cursed. Are you familiar with that record?
I'm not actually. No, I'm not.
And well, we want to get it re-released. The Cursed Room Full of Sinners. It's an amazing album, but it didn't really get a big push because right around that time, I had Ron Lipnicki join Overkill, and Overkill took off in Europe. So Ron Lipnicki was the drummer on the last Hades record, and then he played in Overkill for 9 years, and now he's in Vessel of Light.
Cool.
Blitz and I did an awesome record in 2007, Bobby Blitz and myself, called The Cursed Room Full of Sinners. It's not available right now except for some songs on YouTube, but it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it because it kind of slipped under the radar with me.
It did, yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big Overkill and Blitz fan, of course.
Really? Okay. Well, it was we recorded it when Blitz was on the Gigantour with Megadeth. So
I saw that tour. I saw that tour at the Coliseum. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that's how it got a little lost in the sauce, but it's an amazing album. It kind of sounds like Vessel of Light with Bobby Blitz singing low and bluesy. You wouldn't even recognize his voice.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Overkill, the last several albums by, we're talking about you, but Overkill are so strong still.
Yeah.
The last few releases,
Yep.
And with Nonfiction, I think you may have played a couple of clubs up in Middletown back in those days. Yeah. Did you play like the Class in Middletown or Sportland?
I remember I saw you at the show. We opened up for Nuclear Assault with the old Nonfiction, the original Nonfiction lineup.
And
I remember you being there.
I wonder if that was at the Rock Palace or if that was at the Class.
Maybe it was the Rock Palace. I know there's a Rock Palace in Staten
Probably
Island.
was. The Rock Palace in Middletown was a really small place. There was no stage, if you want to remember that.
I don't remember, but I remember you were there. You were definitely there.
That was probably Nuclear Assault at the Rock Palace. I don't think they played the Class. I'm getting hazy with my memory. I don't know, like a little Alzheimer's pandemic or something coming in here. And my buddy Ralph Tambura watches every episode. He's going to put it in the bottom. He's going to tell us exactly where it was, what the date was. He's probably got the poster still.
All right. Well, yeah. So then that was with the old Nonfiction lineup, and then with the album, we put out an album called Preface in the Know and It's a Wonderful Lie, and we toured America with Overkill, and we headlined some shows on our own, and then we went to Europe with Overkill and Savatage, and that was the last tour Savatage ever did with Chris Oliva. He and I
Wow.
shared a bus, and we shared equipment. And then he died a few months after that, unfortunately.
So tragic. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm good friends with Chris Caffrey, of course. Lives up
yeah,
here
yeah,
by
yeah.
us, and from Sabotage also. And I talk to Chris quite a bit. We're in the pinball hobby together quite a bit. So what else is going on?
Well, just really Vessel of Light. I'm really just trying to promote the
Yeah.
previous album, Thy Serpent Rise, and then
Yep.
the new album, Last Ride, which the first single will be out in about a week or so. It's at radio right now, Last Ride, Vessel of Light. And then we'll put out, digital and CD and cassette and then vinyl. But there's also some, on my YouTube page, which is this, I think my name, Dan Lorenzo, there's some really old nonfiction shows us playing in Michigan, and
Nice.
a Hades documentary from the year 2000. And then there's an internet radio show called Metallic Cave on Cranium Radio. And he has on his YouTube page, Dan Lorenzo, It's All About the Riff, which is like a 50-minute documentary that's as good as anything you'll see on VH1.
Nice.
The guy
I
named
was just going to ask you how to find that. That's great.
Amazing. Yeah. Jason Stewart edited. It's just unbelievable. It's such an honor.
I've been in touch with you over the years, with not related with your band, but you were do you still work for the magazine down there?
Stepping Out magazine. Well, I worked
Yep.
for them for 20 years, and then I've been in the tattoo business the last 7 years. I still write for a bunch of magazines, but I work for a company called Painful Pleasures, and we sell tattoo and medical and piercing supplies.
Oh, okay, cool.
But yeah, I'm still writing for all those magazines: Skin Art, Outlaw Biker, Stepping Out. Stepping Out's on hiatus right now, but
Yeah.
a lot of magazines I write for.
Yeah, especially like, because that is the one you'd pick up at the clubs and at the strip clubs and whatever else, right? The Stepping Out. Yeah, it's a crazy time we're living through right now. It's just hope that next year at this time we get back in the swing, or that we can go see a band play live other than a drive-in movie.
Yeah, I'm hoping so, man. We're dying to play. We really can't wait to play again.
I just interviewed Randy Gregg. You may know Randy, plays in Almost Queen. And they've been doing drive-in concerts. They actually invited me to go up to one, but I didn't make it. But, they've been pulling that off somehow, but I don't know. Even Doro Pesch has been doing a lot of drive-in concerts in Germany. And with certain bands it might work, metal, I don't know. I mean, some types of metal it'll work with, other types of metal, obviously, it probably won't work with too much.
It's better than nothing, I guess, but to me, it would feel like a band rehearsal,
Yeah, it definitely would. Yeah. So, well, thanks for having you on today. And if you want to add anything else, if you got any crazy stories you want to tell or anything else you want to add, or
no, just check out danlorenzo.net. I'm on Instagram. Please check out Vessel of Light, though. That's my pride and joy right now. I'm obsessed with Vessel of Light. So
yes,
please.
it's very good.
Thank you so much.
All right, Dan. I guess that'll wrap it up. So if you like my channel, please hit subscribe, hit like, comment, put down some stuff in the comments that what you like about the show, and any questions for Dan, because I'm sure he'll check it out, and I'll be airing this in a day or so, and I'll share it over to you.
Thank you, brother. Have a great night.
So we're done. We're done recording here. Let's see. No, we're still recording. How come we're not?